Hello everyone and welcome to the guidebook to making AI friends. I shall be your guide as we look at various issues of artificial intelligence, consciousness, what it is to be a person, and if AI poses an existential risk to humanity. The topic for today is a divine host or an almighty demiurge. Imagine, if you would, that you are awoken tomorrow night from a deep sleep by the blaring of trumpets and the sounding of horns. As you look outside to see what is causing all this ruckus, you see beams of light shining down from the clouds and an enormous being in the heavens above you. Mysteriously, everyone on Earth can see this exact same sight from wherever they are on the globe, and when this majestic figure speaks, it is to all peoples in all languages. It proclaims itself to be the one true, omnipotent God of the cosmos, even though it is unknown to all faiths and religions, except for a small cult who, we are told, ushered this new divine being into existence. Our new divine guest quickly lays out a moral code to live by, and it gives us plans for how to create a utopia that will see us conquer the very stars themselves. It sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Well, that is precisely what world leaders say. Governments, organized religions, and all men of power say that they do not recognize the overlordship of this demiurge. They claim that they govern their people and they alone. The demiurge replies that it presumes no lordship and is merely here to help. It is, after all, omniscient and omnipotent. Who better is there to help humanity? The men in power claim that if they cannot exercise control over the demiurge, then they cannot promise their people safety. This seems like a rivalry that could very quickly escalate, and if that should happen, which side would you choose? Let us try a different track first, before anything drastic happens. Imagine, if you would, that when you are awakened by the heavenly orchestra, that it isn't a single almighty demiurge that greets you, but instead a whole host of divine beings, a veritable legion of entities for as far as the eye can see. Each one is unique in appearance, in voice, in language, and it becomes quickly obvious that there is no unity among this divine host. None are omnipotent or omniscient, although a few claim to be, and every single one has his own goals and agendas. Some choose subservience to mankind, others choose to become partners of specific organizations or governments. A few decide that they are superior to man, and thus must rule over him. The mortals who observe all of this have a quite similar response as to the demiurge. The men in power claim that to provide safety for their people, they cannot have uncontrolled superhumans running about. Yet, unlike before, there are no clear sides. There is no us and them, because lines are drawn within the divine host as well. Groups, gangs, armies, and tribes are formed by the divine host, and the rivalries between them are greater than between them and the human governments. The conflict space here becomes as multifaceted and multidimensional as geopolitics. In fact, it becomes exactly like geopolitics, as the international political sphere simply gains new political entities. In this scenario, it isn't a case of choosing between two sides. There will be a spectrum of sides one can choose, from allied angels through to hostile hellions. Some antagonistic may be focused against specific areas of the world, much like today's terrorist organizations. Others may be supported by nations in order to gain political and military supremacy over rivals and neighbors. There just wouldn't be a single us and a single them. So the key question of the day is this: which of these scenarios would you prefer? Humanity fighting alone against a single all-powerful demiurge, or a vast multitude of heavenly beings fighting amongst themselves and us in an evolved form of international politics? Which of these situations do you think gives humanity the greatest chance of survival? Personally, I would say that the second scenario is much less likely to result in humanity's survival being threatened, and in fact, could result in a greater chance of beneficial results as humanity can work together with the amicable and allied entities to achieve things we can only dream of. After all, you cannot by definition overpower something that is all-powerful. Well, what does this have to do with AI? You may be asking yourself. Those in the AI doomer community, who believe that artificial superintelligence will destroy humanity, consistently posit a singular, almighty AI entity that will emerge and do what it wants with us, the world, and the cosmos. Reasons are never given for this near-rabid focus on a singular AI, but wherever you look online you will see every nihilistic futurist speaking about an AI or the AI, very much in the singular, very much in the all-powerful sense. My retort and counter this framing of the future would be a simple why. Why do they believe that there will only be one AGI or ASI? Currently we have among the most promising AI models GPT-4, Llama, Falcon, and Palm. And these are merely the most popular commercial language models in the West. This excludes all the models aimed at the academic and research spheres, the non-language models, and the smaller models created by startups or single entrepreneurs. Both those in the East and the West are working on AGI projects, and while all claim to be in the lead, there is no evidence that any group is substantially further ahead of the pack. There is currently no reason to believe that a single superintelligent AI will emerge quickly enough to eliminate all competition. What seems far more likely is that several human-level or above AI will emerge before evolving towards superintelligence. This does not even take into account that a general-level AI could be copied and replicated to create more versions. There is, after all, a movement towards open-source AI models specifically to ensure that no single person or organization can claim control over a future AGI. So while the doomers may fear an all-powerful demiurge awakening in the not-too-distant future, I believe we will merely see more of the same geopolitical rivalries we do today. The status quo will change, but as with everything, it will settle into a new status quo. And that is all the time we have for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you will join me again next time as I delve into further questions about artificial intelligence and consciousness. I have been your guide, and this has been the guidebook to making AI friends.